All right. All right, let's go. How is everybody doing? Let's see what we got here. Let's get the whole thing was rearranged for the show that I did with Donna the other night. So I got things situated. So how are we doing? I'm seeing I'm gonna have a little bit of fun here in a little bit, but let's see what we got going. Hey scientists, how we doing? Yeah, the season opener will be against Chicago of all teams. I mean, you're kidding me. Well, maybe the idea is that none of the I left my water somewhere. Damn it. Damn it, I gotta go find my water. Hold on a second. God dang it. Stand by for station identification. Talk to the chair. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, we try this again. Yeah, of all the teams, Chicago, man. I guess they didn't want to have it. Chicago's the sacrificial lamb, so to speak, right? Blackhawks versus Panthers. Hey, Colin, Kachukin. Yeah, Knight versus Bob. Sure. That gives us a little bit of. So that means they're gonna yell Knight. That means on the night we're gonna raise the. I mean, it's in Florida. That the game's in Florida. I'm assuming. David says openers don't matter. A first round playoff opponent matters. That's true. Yeah, NHL is doubling down and getting Connor Bedard in the spotlight. Hey, Anthony. I wish you could buy the Dolphins. Nice, Cuban. Very good. Oh, look, we got a smart-ass female in the comment section. Look at that. I can take your wrench away, smart-ass. Huh? If I had a woman here to remind me to get my water, I wouldn't be so absent. But no, I got to be a broke-ass bitch. Cuban, definitely spread. Oh, this one makes me look younger. I appreciate that, Vincent. I had to move the camera around because Donna and I did bad things on the desk as soon as the show was over, so everything got flown all over the place. Colby. Kachuga says accidentally triggering Knight's OCD is going to feel bad. Weird opponent. Oh, yes, Miss Shaws is enjoying her lunch. Where'd you get that lunch? What you got there? Oh, man. So what we're going to do today, once everybody gets in here, we'll give it another couple minutes, is being that this is the 10th anniversary of the channel, and being that there's not a whole hell of a lot going on, today we're going to watch together and cringe together the first video that I ever put out on this channel. Now, earlier, what I started doing is on the putting out the intros. So earlier, I put out the intro for the 22 Tampa series. Tomorrow will be the 21. Miss Joss, your wonderful man food prep for you. Damn. I can't imagine what he got in exchange for that. Damn. Colby, yeah, I talked to him. Yeah, I saw that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to share the video, and we're going to watch it together. And I don't have my headphones, so I have to go get my headphones because if I wasn't a dumbass, I would have no ass. Jesus, Charles, get it together. Hold on a second. God damn it. All right. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, Rosado. Definitely not teasing the OnlyFans. That's for sure. Okay. All right. Boy, that mic is loud in my ear. All right. So let me turn my volume down. And yeah, your shorts were I got no problem with your shorts. Blind Glovey Hockey has been demonetized. I got no problem with Donna's shorts the other night. They were my cup of tea. Okay, so I'm gonna do this here. Let's get to here we go. So this was the date of this video is where's the date, you bastards? Let's go back. The date of this video is October 29th, 2016, and only has 411 views. My first video ever has. Now, the second video has only got 100 views, the third video 96, the fourth video 45. So you saw like they after about a third or fourth video, people said, no, we don't like this guy. And then they started doing better. But so that's what we're going to watch. And I'll pause it every once in a while so that we can, let's see. StreamYard changed everything. They changed the whole interface of how you get everywhere. So, all right, let's see. See if I can get that to be about right. Is that right? Yeah, that's close enough. All right, here we go. Okay, well, as promised, I've been tweeting about it for a couple of days. And we didn't get 4 points this week. Are you guys hearing that? Mega Halloween rant. And make sure you tell me you're hearing that. 3-0 to the Sabres. So that was enough to set me over the edge. We'll start this thing a little bit earlier. First thing I want to do is say hi. This is the first video I've ever made, so it probably won't completely suck, but it's not exactly going to be professional. Thank you. I have a lot of Twitter friends, Lucas and Otto Maddox, the guy that looks like Alex Jones. That's an inside joke, sort of. And lots of other people that I've, met over the last couple of years on Twitter, but never met actually in person because I live in Maryland and I can't really get to the games. I'm house-ridden with 3 dogs and 3 kids, and I probably can't leave my dogs for more than a few hours without them going absolutely insane, really. So I'm here. Anyway, to introduce myself just a little bit as far as what kind of fan I am, I threw rats at the Miami Arena, and that pretty much sums it up. My first dog's name was Beezer, and so I've been a fan since way back, and my family's always been telling me, make videos, do this, do that, and I've never really done it, obviously. But with the moves that were made over the summer with the Panthers, it started getting my wheels turning a little bit, getting things moving upstairs, and today's loss just cinched it. I can't take it anymore. So I'm going to talk about just one man's thoughts. So let's start off. Very little hair.
going line by line with this team right now, obviously, when you're missing Huberdeau and Jokinen and Nick Bukestad, clearly these are big losses.
David.
You can't understate that. But at the same time, obviously, typically, you guys have to step up. Now, if you go line by line with this team, the top line is just a mess, really. And Marchessault has been our best player offensively, clearly.
Too much like Yandel.
Yager, I want to save him for last because, hey, we're the same age, okay? And so I want to kind of take it easy on the guy, so we'll talk about him last. Barkov has turned into Rod Niedermeyer. That's the best explanation and description that I can come up with.
Yeah. Barkov, I just call Barkov Rod Niedermeyer. That's good.
When Huberdeau got injured and they did that little interview with him, and Barkov kind of made a joke about it. Said, "Oh, Marchessault, he's still Jonathan, and he's French Canadian, so it's the same." You kind of got the feeling everything was going to be all right there, but Barkov was just not playing like himself. Now, today he did do a little bit better, he showed a little bit more, but he's getting knocked off the puck. He's just not himself at all. And somebody had mentioned to me yesterday on Twitter that he kind of looked like that during the World Cup. And I didn't watch any of the World Cup, so I wouldn't know. But you don't want to say the guy's injured, and I don't think it's that really. Physically, he looks fine.
Yeah, Kachuckin.
He just looks like maybe he's lacking some confidence because Huberdeau's not there, or whatever the reason is, and it could be part of some declining play by Yager, which we'll get into later. But anyway, that top line is just not itself right now. And look, you lose Huberdeau, that's going to happen. But at the same point, we need at least better possession numbers out of those guys. They're coming into the zone and they're just losing the puck. And we can't have that out of our top line. Now, you go to the second line, Smith, Jokinen, Trocheck, and it looked like, other than the first game doesn't look good for anybody really, but as it was getting on before Jokinen got hurt, it looked like they were going to just be what they were last year. Our second line could kind of be confused with our first line. They really were that good.
Yeah, Rosado, that's the flag in the recap room.
Right now, look, it's obvious. You can watch from their play that Smith and Trocheck, they're pushing. They're pressing. They're trying to do too much. The pass is a little bit off, or they're missing the shot. Or today you see Trocheck misses the open net. Not open net, but misses the net on a penalty shot, which is I'm not a professional hockey player, so I won't say it's probably an easy shot, but you got to figure you're going to hit the net. So that line has got some issues. I know Jokinen, I guess we're looking at a couple of weeks, and hopefully he'll come back, and that'll settle that line down, because really that probably right now is looking to be what will be our best line, at least until Huberdeau comes back and we figure out what we're going to do up there at top.
Yeah, Leaf fan, by 23, I'd been doing it for 6 seasons already.
No comment?
Nobody knew.
Is that allowed? Look, Malgin looked good for the first couple of games, but, just lots of skating around and nothing much really happening. Sevior, he's moved up to the second line. I'm not really seeing anything out of him. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Quentin Howden type. And McCann, don't even get me started, okay? We're gonna skip McCann right now for a second. And they get to the fourth line, and really they've been better than our third line at the very least, if not a couple of games ago, before they moved Harper up. They were probably playing the best hockey, or at least the most intense hockey. The most effort was being put forth by that line, which you would expect. But Harper's been a pleasant surprise. McKenzie is McKenzie. And McKenzie, don't really care for him. I don't know why. I think the guy gives 110% every time he's out there, and you could do a lot worse. Now, you get to the defense because, we're not scoring, but this was supposed to be a possession-based team. And look, I'm not just jumping on this now. anybody who's
October 29th,
knows
2016, Kachukin.
especially
This was about
when
a week before Gallant got fired.
Eric Branson from McCann. I was not pleased. I was not happy, and I probably made a couple of comments, and I think maybe Goldie and Dougie Large, a few people maybe took my comments as to be a little bit too critical. But let me give you a little story.
Yeah, almost a full decade. Yeah,
my uncle used to take me to the Dolphin games, and I was just a kid, and Dan Marino and Duper and Clayton, and the Dolphins are great, all the time, My uncle loved the Dolphins, but we would go to these games, and he taught me how to be a fan, but also understand that you can be critical of the players on the team, and you can be honest. And I was just thinking, hey, it's Marino, yeah. But he would tell me, well, the offensive line this, or the defensive line that, or the linebackers are no good, or the secondary. And we would lose these games. Being a Dolphin fan, you understand we lose a lot of games. But we would lose them for the same reasons that my uncle was sitting there spouting, even though Marino was going for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns, and it was great, and we lose, 55-48 or something like that. And so I learned a lot how to watch my teams, my sports teams, from him, in the sense of you're rooting for them and you want them to be good, but at the same point, you have to be honest about what the players specifically are bringing to the team on a nightly basis, and that just kind of stuck with me, and so I don't attempt to be purposefully critical.
Rosado, yeah.
You may say that I sort of treat the players like kids in the sense that, okay, guys, here you go. You want them to do well, and they're going to make mistakes, but a parent will point out, hey, look, you shouldn't have done that. Okay, that was the wrong thing to do. So that's sort of how I view the Panthers. I know it's not trying to say to be arrogant or something like that, but it's like they're like my baby, they're like my kid. So the point being is that over the summer, Panther management and the ownership.
Exactly, Kachukin.
Look, they've done a great job making a commitment to staying down there in South Florida. And I even kind of, I'm growing on the new logo, although that's not going anywhere, okay? But to make a long story short, I understand why everybody loves new owners and wants to kind of give them this honeymoon period and all of these things. But some of you will remember, and I remember being so pissed the day that we traded Stu Barnes for Chris Wells. Because if anybody else was around that time, you were paying attention, you know that was the start of the slide, the end of that 96 team. And not because Stu Barnes was a great player, but he was our player. He was the heart and soul of that team. Management did it anyway because they said that we needed to get bigger, okay? Even though we had just beat the Flyers and beat the Penguins, who are bigger teams, we needed to get bigger. So we trade, Stu Barnes, who was a fan favorite. Well, check. Anybody can go back and check. The day that this happened with Branson, I said the same thing. I said, look, this is going to come back to haunt us like the day that we traded Stu Barnes. And
we couldn't win a cup again until Kulikov came back.
Anything it's not a family anymore. These guys are not playing for each other. Nobody is hitting anybody. Nobody is. The best of the day was Kulikov's hip check, but he's not on our team anymore, is he? Okay. Look, I want to be wrong. Okay, I would love for these guys to McCann. I mean, I can't for Branson. Look, I could do a half hour on that, but I won't. Okay. McCann's going to score goals. He's going to be okay, but he's clearly not going to be a top line type of guy. He's just a guy that doesn't really hurt you and plays okay. But we had, Quentin Howden again. he played well enough last
Quentin
year
Howden.
to at least have a shot at coming back, and certainly can do just what McCann is doing, which is not score. So I really feel like, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but right now this team is completely searching for an identity. You can see it. We've totally changed the defensive style that we play. We're telling these guys to be more aggressive, and you come up and you make the pass, and hey, let's make the pass, and it's great. But when those passes don't connect, especially early in the season, those passes are not connecting. Boom, I'll rush the other way, and puck's going in the back of the net. So the last thing I want to talk about, because I don't want this to be just on
JC
Yager. That's a tough call. It's 8 games in. He's not playing terrible. You still see the flashes where he turns it on and then turns it off for a shift, and that's about it. So I don't know if it's age that is finally caught him and he can't turn it on, but a couple of times a game. If that's the case, then a trip to the third line will probably be merited once everybody's healthy, which could be January, February at this point.
Rom, I don't even disagree with that case, about Lundell
I think
for sure.
The benefit of the doubt, because he is trying to hold together that top line, and it's just none of it's working right now.
We're almost done here.
Something will start working again.
I think there's just a couple minutes left.
So, Florida Panther fans,
yep,
it's not over. We still have a shot. It's very early in the season. Yeah, we just lost to Toronto and Buffalo, which sucks about as much as we. Okay. Look, it could only get worse if we lose to the Bruins. Really, let's just be honest. So look, we're going to be okay. The division is probably not happening this year. You can see that this is not the same team you put out there last year. So I know that this video started off to be a rant and kind of just calm down into not ranting so much, but I will disclose by saying, dear ownership, I hope you guys didn't screw up our team by getting rid of Gabranson and Kulikov, not because of the players that they were or are, but because of the type of people they were and what they meant to this team. So hopefully these guys that we've gotten in to replace them will pick it up. And let's just get 2 points the next time out, guys. All right.
There you go. There you go. God damn, that was bad. Oh, what the hell on this? I can't find the right lecture note. Okay. My God, that was bad. Yeah, that's the same Kulikov. Yep. Kulikov is the key to everything. We didn't win until Kulikov came back. I'm just saying. We did not win until Kulikov came back. I was only half wrong. I was half right. Kulikov is exactly. I mean, Kulikov made the play that saved the goal and started the rush for the game-winning cup goal. So I'll take that. That was bad, man. My God. And for like the rest of the first year or two, I just recorded on this Surface Pro. And I mean, I would constantly look down at the camera. And like in 2 years time, nobody ever said, hey, Jaws, why don't you move the Surface Pro up? Like put it on a stool or something so that you're not looking down on the no, never once did I get a comment of, hey man, why don't you fix your camera angle? Oh my God. Yeah, what's management going to do next and send Huberdeau to Calgary, right? You seen the channel talking about it, Mikhail Kulikov that the Panthers lose this year? No. Kulikov is signed. We do need to give Mikhail a contract, but we've got plenty of money next year. But Kulikov has a multi-year deal at $1 million a year. Hey, Goat Slayer. Yeah, pre-Gray, exactly, right? Yeah, Ekblad, Barkov were on the team. Yeah. Yeah. It just the names are crazy when you look back. Chunky says, I wonder if we told this Jaws we would go back to back, what I would say. Man, I couldn't see it. But like the difference between our complaints then versus the complaints now, right? It's like we would be talking about guys that we're trying to we were so much cope. There was so much cope that went on back then with just trying to get. I mean, I mentioned Quentin Howden in this video as like maybe he could have helped. You know what I mean? And it's just like we were just so shell shocked by just years of garbage. Did Barkov suck back then? No. I did give him a lot of grief because I wanted him to play harder. But he was just learning. But, we had been bad for so long. And then it was like we had Barkov, Huberdeau, and Ekblad. And I guess fan base, myself included, obviously, just got a little impatient, And then we had Yager, and we went and played the Islanders. We almost could have beat the Islanders. And so we thought we were on this upward trajectory. And then they traded Gabranson, traded Kulikov, went analytics. Huberdeau got his Achilles cut the last preseason game. And then Gallant got fired like 11 or 12 games in. And the wheels came off. It came off, man. Colby says Dale Talon in 2019 said that this Panthers will eventually be a dynasty, and I'm like, this guy's on meth, right? Yeah, Lundell learned much faster than Barkov. A lot less pressure, though. Well, he had the opportunity to, right? I mean, not that Barkov didn't, but Lundell's been able to kind of stay under the radar and play on that third line. I still have to do a video comparing today's Panthers to the 70s Steelers. Yeah, I'm wary of doing that. I'm wary of doing it. I have to make sure that the comparison is, could they be the 70s Steelers? Not, are they the 70s Steelers? I don't want to, you know what I mean? Because we've only won 2. Yeah, Tarasenko went to Florida to play with Bobrovsky. Yeah. Lil J says, I remember watching the Hubie injury at West Point, and I just knew right there that the team was cursed. I mean, guys go behind the net a million times, and that dude's skate just sliced and diced them. Yeah, got to give credit to Dale Talon, no doubt. Yeah, Spencer Knight's homecoming. Blackhawks versus Panthers opening night. Yeah, I've seen that. I really wish it would have been Boston, right? It would have been nice to have it be Boston, to have Marchand there, but maybe they wanted to make sure that we weren't antagonizing anybody in the Eastern Conference. Chicago is such an odd choice. Like, there's not even like a big fan base in Florida of Blackhawks fans. It's not like going, having the Rangers or Boston or something like that. Very, very interesting choice there. Kobe says the Wings literally made the playoffs twice from the 70s, 80s combined. Right. Oilers are adding some guys to the coaching staff. They need a goalie. Vincent says the old logo of the Panthers always seemed like a tiger, not a panther. Interesting. Yeah, I mean it's obviously not a Black Panther, right? You know. Um, but yeah, Rosado, you asked about that flag. If you the Panther logo, the flag is hanging up in the recap room. That's the same flag. Yeah, exactly, Kenneth. Panthers dynasty is a playoff dynasty, which is all that matters, right? Oh, who do I think are the 5 most cursed teams in sports? Well, it depends on how far back you want to go. Now, supposedly Mercury Morris put a curse on the Dolphins that was supposed to be over when Shula died. But Shula dead, and the Dolphins are still cursed. Now, the Bills, that's pretty bad when you've lost 3 Super Bowls in a row. Wasn't the game that Thurman Thomas lost his helmet the 4th Super Bowl? Anybody remember that? Where he couldn't find his helmet before the game? Like, that's some poltergeist shit right there, where the dude just has his helmet just disappear on the sidelines of an NFL game. Pretty sure that was the 4th Super Bowl. Junkie says Cowboys definitely cursed. Jerry sold his soul for those 3. Yeah. Yeah, Barry Switzer especially, right? Have to give that some more thought. The Sabres are pretty bad off. JC says, no, Jaws, we don't remember that. Not all of us went to high school with Jesus. Don't insult me. I didn't go to high school. What's wrong with you? I went most of the days in my freshman year, but by sophomore and junior year, I was more interested in what was going on at the fishing pier. I had a 1968 Plymouth Fury. I could fit my rods in the trunk. I didn't even have to pop them in half. I just put all the rods in the trunk. And I'd get to about 3rd period, and I'd call the pier, and if they told me the mackerel and bluefish were running, I went fishing. Yeah. Gotcha, Colin. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll work on something. So, yeah, I definitely did not go to high school with Jesus. Jesus would have graduated. It's actually a pretty good shirt. It's actually a pretty good T-shirt. Jesus would have graduated. That's okay. I was going into the military anyway. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. I got bored in school. I got bored. Like, because once you get to like a certain level at school, you realize they're just kind of teaching you the same shit all over again. Like they just teaching you the same thing. It's like, how many times did I need to take Algebra 1? Right? It's like the same thing, just a little bit harder. It's like, leave me alone. I want to go fishing. JC says, I can totally picture Jaws in his jean shorts with a mesh tank top, long ponytail, and some thong sandals. No, that wasn't my jam. The jean shorts was definitely not my jam. I was more of like the baggy silk pants, like the elastic band baggy silk pants with the sleeveless shirts that like the sleeve like was cut out. Like you take the t-shirt and you cut off the sleeve and you leave it like to here so my lats could pop out. That was more my style. Definitely not the thong sandals. Rum says, Ryan Reeves on the Leafs, just a lack of trust very early. I had one bad game, was out of lineup for 9 games. I'd come back in and have a good game, but take him right back out. That's not very good. That's not a ringing endorsement whatsoever, that's for sure. Yeah, 8 hours is a long day for it is, man. That's a good point. Right? I get bored. You know? Rosado says, you hope they implement the 4-day work week in Miami? What's going on with that? I don't know anything about that. Yeah, I was cut out from Miami Vice. Yeah. Yeah, that's exact. And vests, though. I wore the vests. Yeah. I got married in a vest. I never wore a suit and tie. I've worn my military blues, but I have never gone anywhere with the suit and tie on. Never once in my life. What are you saying, Colby? Oh, where I just blast 80s music? You know, Colby, the weird thing about it is that it's not the monetizing part that gets you. There are some songs, like 95% of songs are fine. And they'll just be like, we're going to take some of the ad revenue. But there's about 5% of the songs that you don't know until after the fact that if you play that song, they will just take the video down. End of discussion, regardless of the purpose of it. And you don't know until you've played the video. Like when I've done the rap songs or the singing of the songs for the intros, I always have to take the song, just the audio from what I'm going to do and upload it to my channel as a private video just to see if it's going to be allowed to be shown. And sometimes it's not. When Nick and I did the Hotel California thing the other year, it took me like 3 times. And then that's why we just had Nick play it, because I couldn't find a song that I could upload that they wouldn't immediately take down. JC says, so what you're saying is we have to bury you in elastic band, beige linen pants, black, not beige. Come on, man. Give me some credit. And a Panthers classic jersey. Yeah, but cut the sleeves off. I want my armpits to be able to breathe. How does it feel being old? Is it as I expected? You know, Vincent, I always tell people, you know why old men are so crabby? Because y'all that are between the ages of 16 and 20, and you pretty much figure all these things that you can do and all the things that you want to do. So that mindset that you have right now at 16 to 20, it never goes away. It never goes until you're 30, 50, 70, 90. It's just that by the time you're about 75 or 80, you've come to terms with you ain't never going to do most of that stuff, or you can't do it anymore. And now you're just a crabby old man. But in terms of what you would like to be able to do and accomplish, it doesn't change. It don't go away. Dave says, well, making me work all good day 4, and I can see the light at the far end of the tunnel, hoping by the end of the year to be down to 4 days, have 3 playing poker. That'd be nice. JC says, crazy how you went from sitting in a dingy, dark basement to doing reviews in a better lit, dingy basement with more shit on the walls. Yeah, but this isn't the basement. This is upstairs. The basement is directly below me. So, in fact, you know what? I didn't even think about that, JC. JC, I just realized something. Wow. This is... Do you understand that where I'm sitting right now is the exact spot that I stand for the recaps just below me? I never even thought about that till right now. Where I'm sitting right now is if I just fell through the floor, I would be standing at the exact same spot where I do the recaps downstairs. I never even thought about that till right now. Like I could legit just fall through the floor and be standing in front of the recap room. That's kind of, I must be in some kind of this is the vortex. David says, Vincent, I'm 56, but my mind is still like 17, body like 140. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, call me Mr. Jefferson. Right? I mean, the recap room's still downstairs. It's not that the recap room is dimly lit. It's that the lighting I use, I don't face it on me. I face it to the side, because if I face it on me, then I'll be doing the whole recap like this because I'm blind. Because the light will blind me. There's not enough room in the room to move the light back far enough away to properly light the thing while also not blinding me. I've done it a couple, like the videos I make in there during the daytime are good because there's the windows that come in and give me light. But the night videos, whatever. 500 people are going to watch regardless of what I do, and that's it. That's it. No more, no less. Windy City Hockey, how you doing? He says, I hate how the Blackhawks have to open up the season on the road every year. Last season opener was at home 27. The last home opener was 2017. Damn. Yeah, it's like you guys keep getting thrown to the wolves, right? Now you got to open up on the road against the two-time defending Stanley Cup champs. Only bad things can happen, because either you're going to get waxed or you will shockingly beat the Panthers and have your fans just like have an enormous amount of false hope. Rosado says, I'm going to Disney and doing the 4-park 16 ride challenge. Well, so Rosado, I don't want to get off track too much, but back in the day, because we had the guest services pass because of Kyle being autistic, we would go to all 4 parks and ride all the rides in one day. And it wasn't even difficult. It wasn't even difficult. Simon, I'll be honest with you. I did not see the trade between Vancouver and Pittsburgh yesterday because I was working really hard on the men's channel, and I was working hard on my relationship with my girlfriend. That's all I have to say about that. Coley says Spencer Knight and Jeff Blashill are going to have a terrible relationship like Lion Flores and Tua did. Right. Vincent, I do have a water softener in there. That is the truth. Damn it. I need to get a new water softener. The one I have is getting the water's getting too much iron in it. So I'm going to have to get a new water softener. That should not be fun. JC says, team starts winning, Jaws moves up a level. If we become a full-blown dynasty, I expect Jaws to be doing reviews atop the Burke. Well, I can't get. Can I get on the roof? Maybe we'll go on the porch, JC. See, if the channel ever would blow up, I could afford to spend some actual money on my backdrop and all of that. But YouTube has decided that no matter what I do, whether I put in 8 hours into an intro or just give a blank screen and burp, I'm going to get 500 views. That YouTube is just so I can't blow up the channel, which is why we're doing the men's channel. But I would love to be able to have the money to work on. I'd love to be able to get the porch set up to do videos from out there. But it's such a damn mess. I gotta get furniture out there. Well, he said Sergachev on Blashill, and then we changed our system. The coach from Detroit came in. I mean, we've gone to 3 finals, and this guy comes in and says, we're not playing like that anymore. Now we're playing like fucking Vegas, and we're all like, why? He goes, they have a better system. It'll work for us. Well, it didn't work. Damn. Damn, I didn't know that. So Rosado, what if the Panthers offer Sheet Spencer Knight next year? I'm here for it, man. Oh, that's like I wake up half the nights I wake up in a cold sweat, just wishing that would happen. Just for the chaos, just for the content. That's all. We don't even have to get them back, just for the content. Wendy says the Blackhawks have played 3 banner raising ceremonies since 18. That ain't right, man. That's not right. That's abusive. That's kind of abusive, Windy City. That's not really right. Hey, thank you, Rosado. JC, I'll get with you this week. I'll get with you this week. If you saw the real if you saw the situation I had, you would understand. But I'll contact you this week. No, Vincent, the porch, the cats, we had 3 of them, and they haven't shown up in a couple of weeks. I don't know what happened. None of them have shown up in a few weeks. Now, sometimes that'll happen, right? They'll disappear for a couple of weeks and then come back every night for like 6 months. So, but nobody's been around for a couple of weeks. Wendy City says Spencer Knight staying in Chicago. Blackhawks sound like they're working on an extension for Knight, Bedard, and Nazar already. Yeah, I mean, if Knight wants to stay, he'll stay, right? You would assume that Chicago would just be willing to pay him whatever. They gave up Jones and ate all that salary. Colby says, reminder that Vashey sported a 921 last season under the Blashill's defense. Vincent says an owl happened. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Every once in a while I find a bunny head. I don't know. In fact, I haven't seen many of the adult bunnies lately either. I've seen a bunch of baby bunnies running around, but the adults have not been around. It's possible. Sad. We do have them out there. Jason says, or hear me out. We fly you and Kyle out and you do the recaps here for round 1 of the playoffs. Well, we're trying for January. We're trying to do the January thing. But we'll talk about that, JC. I got one shot, right? Because I'm gonna have to rob a bank. I got to shut the eBay store down to do it. I really think it's doable. I don't know how, but I still feel like it's doable. But, Kyle and I still have to do like the football during that time too, if we come like mid-January, mid-February. So it's a lot to sort through, but I know it's coming up quicker than I would like. Plus, if we leave for the playoffs and we lose, isn't it my fault? Like, don't I get blamed for that, JC? Right? Because Kyle and I have been streaming since we started streaming here. We've won. So if I leave during the playoffs, I'm a little concerned. Oh my God, geared up for a game of ice hockey. Jeez, I don't know that Kyle can't skate. I can skate. Like Kyle's not skater. I don't want to. I took him roller skating once years ago, and he kind of gave himself a concussion because he doesn't have a real good idea of how to fall, and so he just used the back of his head to fall on. It wasn't good, JC. I gotta be honest. It wasn't. He was skating around that circle, and I was skating around over here, and he was behind me. And over the music, I heard the clap of his head, the back of his head, hitting the skating floor. Yeah. Oh yeah, meeting the hockey guy, that would be cool. Vincent says yes, it would be my fault. That I figured that. Yeah. I don't think they're doing anything, Simon. I don't think. When are we gonna know about Tkachuk? Which, by the way, like, when are we gonna know whether or not he's gonna go on LTIR? I still say they're gonna just troll everybody to the end of the summer and be like, well, he tried to heal it without surgery. It didn't work out. So he had surgery like the second week of August. So he'll be out until really late in April or maybe the beginning of May, conveniently. Like, that to me seems like, but then, you know what's interesting here? Chucky was just golfing. Huh. Colby, no, I haven't checked out any more of the Ace from Running with the Devils. The algorithm just stopped bringing me hockey stuff. It just stopped till the end of summer, Fly Guy. Yeah, it's very possible. Now, here's the question. And I know the answer. But let's say Tkachuk doesn't come back into the beginning of round one. Chucky, whole season out. Round one starts. Chucky's back. Who gets thrown under the bus? Rodriguez or Samoskevich? Or does Rodriguez go to the fourth line and Gadjevich or Greer gets thrown under the bus? Somebody would have to get thrown under the bus, assuming we're healthy. Assuming we're healthy, somebody that played gets thrown under the bus. Everybody says Mackey again. Yeah, damn. That's rough, man. That's rough. I don't know that I disagree. That's harsh, though. 2 years in a row. What bus, Vincent? The bus that has the Panthers have too many good players written on the side of it. Colby says Ace praises the Panthers almost every video. He's an old school hockey fan that experienced the Devils' great years, so he doesn't subscribe to the it's rigged, Panthers are dirty BS. Gotcha. It's so wild how the algorithm. I just stopped getting hockey content. I didn't stop watching it. It just stopped bringing it to me. It just that's why I was saying before how, like, with the other people that are making Panther videos, like, it's not competition. Like, I think it's good because YouTube, a lot of the algorithm on YouTube is based on what are other people watching. So people stop watching hockey videos. They're not going to show my videos either. You know what I mean? It's not. So I don't view that as competition. I wish that there'd be more people, because the more people that are watching Panther videos, the more times my Panther videos are going to get shown. It's just the way it is. So now that interest in hockey took obviously, right? So now my algorithm, even though I watch this stuff, I don't get it. Like, I'm still getting a couple of videos from a hockey guy. Every once in a while, I get Hockey Junkie now. But like everybody I was getting during the playoffs, I haven't had a hockey psychology video in my feed for 2 weeks. I just saw something from low quality this morning, Colby, but previous to that, I haven't seen a recommendation from him for over a month. Hey JD, man, I've been meaning to email you, brother. Don't let me forget. You just keep coming back. I will remember. It's been in the brain to do it. I promise. Vincent says, Dangle appear? Nope. I haven't had a Dangle or SDPN video in my feed since the last day of the Cup. Since then. I haven't seen anything from him. Nothing. You know what I keep getting? I keep getting my own stuff recommended to me from like six. They keep recommending me the same video, and it's the one I made when Sonia died, and it's copyrighted. It's because I played "She's Gone" from Hall & Oates in the video, so it's not even money. It's not even a video that's monetizable. It's a copyright claimed video, and that's the one that they keep recommending to me. Like it's been in my up next recommended like 4 times in the last 3 weeks. And I watched it and they still keep recommending it to me again. So I don't know what. So what do I watch in my free time? Well, I have 2 different algorithm sets. I have one on the hockey channel and one on the men's channel. So in the men's channel, I get a lot of like videos that I can review on the men's channel. I got some stuff coming out this week with that. When I'm not watching hockey videos, I like the not dash cam, the body cam. I like to watch the body cam videos. Those are always fun. And then I'll watch like Tape Library and some of the ghost stuff like that. Yeah, I'll watch stuff like there's another one like Tape Library. I forget what the guy's name is. Wendy say I just posted a video for a video series she created yesterday. Yeah, man, it's hard on hockey creators this time of the year. It's like it drops off. Hey, Adonis. Guys, everything's good. Everything's good, man. Trying to think, Vincent, if there's anything else. You know what sucks is that I try to curate an algorithm on the hockey channel, the football channel. That's the other thing is I'll go watch. I'll change to the football channel so I can get football videos. So I'm a creep. Yeah, exactly, Vincent. Yeah. Exactly. No, I like the body cam videos. I like to watch them. I like to watch the drunk people. Tell you that it never fails. It's the drunk women. I like to watch them talk about how they only had one drink, and you can barely understand the word they're saying. No, I haven't. I haven't watched. I think I watched like the first 2 Mission Impossibles, maybe 3, but that was so long ago. But I haven't watched any of them since. It's going to be an off-season video series where we cover 1 Blackhawks legend per episode. That should do well. Sloppy Joe's Bingo. What the hell is Sloppy Joe's Bingo? Oh, by the way, Trey sent me a message. I guess is it in casinos? Did he send me? I guess somewhere in Vegas or some of the casinos or something that they're gonna make Uno one of the table games. Gonna make Uno a table game. That's wild. We'll have to include Kylan on that. Adonis says, "Why did we get the Blackhawks just to be sacrificed?" I know. I feel bad for them, man. It's like that is just clearly here you go, Panthers. Here's fresh meat. Like if you're Chicago and that's your opening day, it's like thanks a lot. We're gonna raise another banner and then come on. It's not right. So all right, everybody, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna get some stuff done on eBay, and I do have I've got a lot of different content out. If you guys haven't checked the men's channel out in a little while, I've been putting out some stuff. And I put out some clips from the inappropriate conversations stream that we had last night. If you want a good, solid, just something to put on in the background, Don and I streamed for like almost 2.25 hours the other night, and it's pure entertainment. So if you need something inappropriate to put on in the background, help a brother out, put that on and give me no watch hours. I'm close on the men's channel where we're 8 away from 500 subscribers. That'd get me monetized, but I need 3,000 watch hours. And because I stopped posting on that channel for so long, I'm short like 2,500. So that's why we were doing the streams, which we are going to have tomorrow night. We're going to do a football stream. Wednesday night, we're going to do a men's channel stream. And then I think Thursday's noon stream, instead of doing it Thursday night, I think Thursday at noon is going to be the package opening stream because I got a bunch of stuff that you guys just sent me and everything. And so we'll just open that up on Thursday. So, all right, everybody, go enjoy the rest of your day. Exactly, David. All right, bud. Appreciate all the support, and we shall see you mañana.